Welcome to the STEM Science and Wellness Biology Quarter 3 content training. Please pause the video and either type the bit.ly into your browser address bar or scan the QR code to get a copy of the participant guide. I will be referring to this guide throughout the video. The STEM Science and Wellness Department is led by our director, Ms. Jenny Farrell, and our manager, Mr. Jared Tavares. We are a team of 6 coordinators. I am Cynthia Curtis, and I am your high school science curriculum coordinator. Please reach out to me with any questions you may have. I will be covering a lot with you during this video. We will start with tiered resources in science. Then we will get into the learning objectives and success criteria for today's session. We'll look at assessment data from the fall common assessment and last spring's biology end of course exam. We'll look at how the standards were assessed. We will overview quarter 3 curriculum. We'll look at the quarter 3 lab investigations. Then we'll talk about lab safety and lab cleanup professional development opportunities. We will get into the importance and use of learning objectives and success criteria in the classroom. We'll have an update on Proclamation 2024 information, and we will end this video with a reflection. As you may know, there are 3 tiers of instruction. Tier 1 is first instruction. Tier 2 is for students who are unsuccessful with Tier 1 instruction and need targeted support in small groups. Tier 3 is more intensive targeted support for students that are performing significantly below grade level. This is usually around 5% of the student population. Dallas ISD has many digital tools such as Elevation to aid in curriculum instruction and engagement. Go to your participant guide and click on 2023-2024 Supplemental Digital Tools in the Tiered Curricular Resources section. Pause the video and look through these resources. These are the resources available for Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 instruction in biology. MyHRW is our digital textbook resource for biology. Discovery Education has additional videos, readings, quizzes, and interactives that can be used in biology for Tier 1 and Tier 2 instruction. Both MyHRW and Discovery Education are accessible through Clever. Serious Online and Imagine Edgenuity are Tier 3 resources utilized for students needing to retake the biology EOC exam. Open the curriculum framework for Tier 2 and 3 instruction document in the Tiered Curricular Resources section of your participant guide. Be sure to click on Science on the curriculum framework for Tier 2 and 3 instruction documents. Pause the video and look through the resources in this document. Now let's go over our learning objectives and success criteria for today's session. We are going to learn about data-driven shifts in biology curriculum. In our success criteria, we will be able to identify low-performing biology SEs from the fall biology common assessment. We'll describe opportunities to spiral in low-performing biology SEs into quarter 2 instruction. You are going to identify low-performing biology SEs from the May 2023 biology end of course exam and identify instructional strategies to address misconceptions on those low-performing biology SEs from the May 2023 biology EOC exam. We are also going to learn about lab safety and cleanup professional development opportunities. And our success criteria, we will be able to explain 5 necessary components of lab safety and determine why professional development over this topic is important. Learning objectives and success criteria are meant for students to refer to throughout the lesson to monitor their learning progress. During this presentation, I will be modeling, going back and revisiting learning objectives and success criteria to provide opportunities for learners to check in on their progress throughout the lesson. Now we will begin looking at our biology assessment data from the Fall Biology Common Assessment and the Spring 2023 Biology End of Course exam. First, let's take a look at an overview of the 2023 Fall Biology Common Assessment data. Note that almost 60% of students achieved meets and masters. Only 14.5% of students did not meet standard. Here's the data from the Fall Biology Common Assessment broken down by SE. Open the links in the Biology Fall 2023 CA Data section of your participant guide. Pause the video to analyze the data, read the feedback on the Jamboard, and provide your own feedback as well. I have also provided a document containing recommendations for spiraling in low-performing SEs identified on the Fall Common Assessment into the end of Quarter 2 instruction. Resume the video after viewing these documents. I hope you found some creative ways to spiral in the low-performing SEs into Quarter 2 instruction. Let's review where we are in our learning progression. You should now be able to identify low-performing biology SEs from the Fall Biology Common Assessment and describe ways to spiral those SEs into Quarter 2 instruction. Now let's take a look at low-performing SEs from Quarter 3 instruction as identified on the May 2023 Biology End of Course exam. As you can see, last year, Units 7 through 11 were all taught during Quarter 3, and most of the low-performing SEs came from these units. This year, we have adjusted the biology year at a glance to allow more time to teach Semester 2 content. Quarter 3 now only contains Units 7, 8, and 9. Units 10 and 11 are now taught in Quarter 4. Pause the video and look at the first 3 links under the Biology May 2023 EOC Data section of your participant guide. Analyze the data focusing on those SEs covered in Units 7, 8, and 9 only. Now that you have taken the time to look at the biology EOC data, let's look at all of the SEs covered during Quarter 3. On this table, red indicates SEs in which Dallas ISD underperformed the state. On this screen, B6B, B7D, and B7E are SEs in which Dallas ISD underperformed the state on the biology EOC exam. Here's part 2 of the SEs covered during Quarter 3. As you can see, B8B, B8C, and B10A are also SEs in which Dallas ISD underperformed the state on the biology EOC exam. Pause the video and brainstorm engagement activities to improve student performance on the identified SEs during Quarter 3 instruction. Now that you have looked at the biology EOC data, you should be able to identify those low-performing SEs that will be covered during Quarter 3. Now, click on the Jamboard activity titled Low Scoring Biology EOC Questions Quarter 3 in the May 2023 EOC Data section of your participant guide. Look at questions for low-scoring SEs. Pause the video and think about what misconceptions the students may have that make this question challenging. Additionally, think about what strategies could be used to improve student comprehension of each concept. Add your thoughts to the Jamboard. Now that you have completed the Jamboard activity, you should be able to identify instructional strategies to address misconceptions on low-performing SEs identified on the May 2023 Biology End of Course exam. As you plan your lessons for quarter 3, remember to stay on track. Check the focused IPCs on Curriculum Central each week. Don't forget that the fall ACP testing window is December 19th to 22nd. ACP blueprints can be found on the assessment's website. Example items and the ACP are found in School City, accessible through Clever. Biology will also have a Spring Common Assessment given during the week of March 4th through 8th. Please visit the assessment website to download the blueprint for the Spring Common Assessment. You can also view the Spring Common Assessment and its answer key on the assessment website. Now, let's overview what students will be learning in your classes during quarter 3. Click on Big Concepts in Quarter 3 Biology on your participant guide. You will see the SEs for Unit 7, Evolution, Unit 8, Taxonomy, and Unit 9, Animal Systems. On your participant guide, you will also find a link to a Jamboard activity for the big concepts in quarter 3. Open that Jamboard. Then, pause the video and add a teaching strategy that engages students over the content addressed in that SE. Be sure to answer the question, what student engagement strategies can I use to improve student performance on our low-scoring SEs? Now that you have explored some TEKS-aligned student engagement activities for quarter 3, let's take a look at some suggested laboratory investigations for quarter 3 curriculum. Here are the lab investigations found in the guided lessons in the quarter 3 focused IPCs. Remember, in all high school science courses, at least 40% of your instructional time should be devoted to lab and field investigations. Pause the video to take a look at the list and think about resource and time requirements for these investigations. You can find details for these investigations in the guided lessons. Participants that are new to teaching or new to the grade level should have taken the high school science online lab safety training. Please make sure that your science lead teacher or administrator has a copy of your certificate to show you have completed the training. If you are still in need of this training, you may click on the link on your participant guide to register in Cornerstone and access this course. On January 8th, the STEM Science and Wellness Department will be hosting virtual PD sessions over inventory and organization of TEKS-aligned lab equipment and chemicals. High school science teachers will have 2 opportunities to attend, 10 a.m. or 2:30 p.m. Each session is 90 minutes long. The expectation is that everyone who provides instruction in science, as well as support science instruction in any capacity, should attend one of these sessions. The training on January 8th does not replace lab safety training. At each campus, there is a high need for 5 components of lab safety to be addressed. Number 1, clean and organized prep rooms. Number 2, showers and eye wash stations should be checked to ensure they are functional at least once a month. Number 3, sinks need to be clean. Number 4, chemicals must be organized and stored properly. Number 5, Equipment and chemicals should be put away as soon as instruction is done for that particular lab investigation. Click on the link in your participant guide to register for one of these virtual sessions. Now that we have overviewed lab safety and cleanup professional development opportunities, you should be able to explain the 5 necessary components of lab safety that are needed at each campus and why professional development is important over this topic. Think for a moment about how you use learning objectives and success criteria in your classrooms with your students. Do you refer to them often? Are the students able to see them throughout each class period? Do you know why they are important? Lessons and activities should be aligned to the learning objective and success criteria. They communicate to the students what they are learning and why. Students can refer back to the learning objective and success criteria to make connections with prior learning. Remember, the focused IPCs accessible in Curriculum Central have exemplar LOs and SCs for you to use or edit as needed. Learning objectives and success criteria should not be introduced to students only at the beginning of a lesson. Make sure they are written big and are visible to all students at all times in the classroom. Revisit the learning objective and the success criteria several times during the lesson. What have you noticed about today's lesson? Hopefully, you've noticed that I have modeled revisiting the learning objectives and success criteria during a lesson to anchor student learning. The learning objective and success criteria are a way for students to constantly connect what they are doing in class with why they are learning it. Proclamation 2024 is upon us. District and campus teams will be formed in December and January to review, vet, recommend, and ultimately vote on instructional material to be used with the new science TEKS beginning in the 2024-2025 school year. If you have any questions about Proclamation 2024, please contact Mr. Jeremy Harden at jeharden@dallasisd.org. It's time to reflect on your learning. Pause the video and reflect on what you have learned during this video that will influence your classroom instruction. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions or need any curriculum support, please contact Cynthia Curtis at cycurtis@dallasisd.org. Thank you and have a great day.